The billionaire's daughter arrived at her husband's rural home for the first time. Upon getting out of the car, she saw her mother-in-law drying fish in a Rolls-Royce. Surprised, she went inside, where silver chopsticks and a bird's nest king crab and abalone were laid out on the table. She took a bite and found it tasted better than a Michelin restaurant. Her mother-in-law explained that it was a common dish in their home. The girl realized that her new husband was anything but ordinary. In fact, she was the daughter-in-law of a wealthy family, but her in-laws rejected her and forced her to deliver food. One day, she accidentally helped a fishmonger. Then her in-laws called because her sister-in-law was engaged to a rural fishmonger, and they forced her to marry in his place so that her sister-in-law could move into the wealthy family. On the wedding day, the sister-in-law arrived in a Rolls-Royce while the girl drove in an old van. The sister-in-law joked about the car's fishy smell, but the girl remained silent. When they arrived at her husband's house, a chicken suddenly flew out. The girl stepped back in fear and accidentally stepped on the chicken droppings. Her mother-in-law greeted her with a smile and took her inside. Seeing the dishes on the table, the girl thought that even the villagers were starting to pay attention to appearances. Just then, her husband returned on a tricycle. They saw each other and recognized him. He was the same fish seller he had helped earlier. The husband was stunned and said he wanted to buy a gift for his wife. He said he had never had a girlfriend, so he couldn't figure out what she would like. He bought whatever he found. The girl saw fish scales on the package and felt uncomfortable, but smiled and accepted. When she opened it, it was full of gold bracelets. The man thought the gold would be ordinary, so he took out another box. The mother-in-law said that their family's situation wasn't very good. She hoped she wouldn't be scornful. The girl thought if things were this bad, the world must be full of poor people. The husband offered to show her the cattle farm and said that fate had brought them together again. He took out a bank card from his pocket and said it contained billions of dollars. She could spend whatever she wanted and would also give her all her future earnings. The curious girl asked what their income was. The husband scratched his head and said that their business wasn't doing well. He only earned about 100 billion annually. At that, the girl realized that she hadn't married an ordinary fishmonger. Meanwhile, her sister-in-law, who had married a wealthy man, wasn't a favorite of her mother-in-law. Whenever she made a mistake while giving massages, she would slap her. She warned that if she disobeyed, she wouldn't be selected for the evening meeting. Finally, the sister-in-law had to endure it. One day after a delivery, the girl's husband called her to a gala. She was wearing her delivery uniform and looked uncomfortable. Her sister-in-law and her husband were also there. The sister-in-law, upon seeing her, told her husband that she was a maid in a wealthy household. Then she snatched her glass and threw it in her face. The girl said she was waiting for someone, but her sister-in-law laughed and said that there were big businessmen there. A delivery girl shouldn't be there. She said that perhaps she was waiting for her fish seller husband. The angry girl asked what was wrong with selling fish. Her sister-in-law accused her of theft and said that if she angered the president of the trade union, she would face consequences. Her husband ordered a search. The girl asked, by what right? The sister-in-law arrogantly replied that she was beautiful, so she could do whatever she wanted. Then she noticed a gold bracelet on her wrist and said that it wasn't hers, but stolen. The girl explained that it was a gift from her husband. Just then, a necklace with angel wings fell from her neck. Her sister-in-law claimed she had stolen both items and demanded punishment. Just then, the girl's husband arrived.